Hi angels, Divine Sacred Tarot here. Welcome to my channel and thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful for all of your comments, your likes, your subscriptions. Thank you so much for being here, and you enable me to channel for the highest and best good, and the fact that you get to receive it and I get to listen to your stories in the comments, and I'm just filled with so much love today. So thank you so much. I posted a picture that is on my community page. So go check that out, because this is all about that picture that I received a channeled message. So I'm going to give you a bit of a backstory, and then we're going to go into some channel readings and cards for the general energies, and then we'll decipher whose energies they are, what the divine masculines head and heart space are going through. So if you haven't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell, because I am still trying to grow my channel. And if you're looking for a personal reading, please do connect with me on divinesacredtarot@gmail.com. The links are in the description box and in my bio. So firstly, this picture. This picture to me is so profound because for the past 2 years, I want to say the first time I saw it was near December. I predict like 2021 or 2022. And this picture of a heron, of a single heron, well, actually it was live. I saw a heron literally standing on the roof of another building. And because I'm on a second story flat, I could see it like literally an eye line, and I was just in awe of the majestic beauty and also this bird. I've never seen a bird like that in all of my time living in this space. So when I saw a heron, I was then going through a bit of a tough time, and I thought the herons were bad luck. And then I realized the more times they showed up during the year and a significant moments in time, that I realized no. They were symbols and signs from the universe, from my angels, from my ancestors, to tell me that everything is going to be okay, that things are getting better and you are on the right track. But in a sense, you're protected, right? So yes, I've seen a single heron, and yeah, I've acknowledged it as being a sign, as my angels watching over me, and I never really looked it up. I took it as protection, as love, right? And I've never seen two together, especially the white one. So let me just go through some of the history of the meaning of a heron. So if you're seeing herons, or if you've seen a heron, and think back, what were you thinking and feeling at that time? Because it is a major message from our own ancestors and guides. So the meaning of it, I found out just recently when I saw these two birds. It's about serenity, peace, elegance, grace. So these birds find the perfect balance between land, water, and sky. And their patience reminds us that there is an importance to waiting for opportunities to appear. And this is a sign of patience and good luck. So if you're seeing herons, or if you've seen herons, my voice is like deeply going. My throat chakra is genuinely activating. It's almost like I was always meant to send this message out. But this is for both the divine masculine and feminines. And I'll get to the main message in a second. But let me just give you a little bit of backstory. So seeing herons is about patience and good luck, right? So you spot a heron. For the Native Americans, for example, it's a symbol of good luck. For the Celtic traditions, it was a symbol of sovereignty, femininity, and magic. So just like when my first experience of seeing a heron, it's probably going to be really impactful and moving. Like you're almost in awe of this majestic creature. And that's probably the same feeling that you may get when you encounter a heron. And it basically suggests that anybody who's seeing this needs to go inwards to meditate. And that's what I did after seeing that picture. And I'm going to share what I found anyway in a small while. But the Greek myths refer to the heron as a messenger of the gods, and that's basically what I thought of them rather than look them up. As a totem animal, so if you're resonating with them as a totem animal, they are those who find themselves predicting the future by recognizing patterns and accurate predictions. So if any of you who are seeing patterns, it's not clairvoyancy, but it's basically saying you're recognizing patterns and you're making predictions, and you probably suggest certain things to people even before they actually take action, and then they don't heed your advice, and you're like, well, I told you this was going to happen, but it was up to you to follow it, right? Oh my gosh, excuse me. So the animal of the heron represents harmony and tranquility. My throat has gone so bad right now. Let me see if I can take a sip of water. So this totem animal is about patience and perseverance. And that's the symbol of this animal. So if you see two, it's calmness, it's harmonic, it's about wealth and prosperity. So when I saw this, I saw it on my phone, and I don't normally see herons on my phone, but like I said, when I saw them in person and when I see them online, or say a friend messages me a heron, I know I'm being looked after. But I put my phone down after I saw the two white birds, and I played angelic music to actually meditate, because this is a symbol: go inwards, go quiet, be in nature, meditate. So anytime you see these creatures, go inwards. It's a symbol to go inwards. But basically, the message that I was getting was the divine feminines have been given a key. Now, I found this really significant, but I've said this in a short most recently. But I've also said this in a channel reading, that you have the key, divine feminines. So I was given a key by my higher self. And when I asked, okay, what is this key for? I understood its power. Even though it was small, I understood its power. And I asked my higher self, what would you like me to do with this key? And the message that came through was, go ahead, unlock all the doors. And when I looked up, I swear you, there was probably 100 doors around me, in this big circle. Like how, if any of you are Harry Potter fans and you've got all these doors and they were like, go through the door, and you have to find the right door, right? But this was multiple doors. And so in this room where I stood, I began opening a door one by one. So I began to understand, as I opened one door, and then I opened the second, and I opened the third, I was like, wait a second. The background, the colours were the same theme. And then I realised that as I was opening every door, and I did unlock every door, that each door was leading to one grand space. And I understood the destination wasn't behind the one door, the one decision. The pressure that I needed to pick it was no matter which door you pick, divine feminines, you will always end up in the highest aligned path destined for you. So, of course, during that meditation, I cried. There was a mixture of sadness and joy and relief. But as the great doors were lifted and the light was incredibly bright, I couldn't really remember anything after that. But I was given clarity that the two herons were a symbol. As I said, I've never seen two before. But since I recognize the heron as being a symbol of hope, love, and prosperity from my angels and ancestors, the two white herons gave me the message that despite not knowing what's happening in the astral, in the 5D, there is a big shift for both divine feminines and masculines. And some of you are feeling this in the purging, in the sleepless nights, in the disturbed sleep. Like you may be going to sleep because you're feeling tired, and then you wake up in the middle of the night, and then it's really hard to get back to sleep. So these energies are not being settled, but they are being shifted. And that was the message that was coming through, that the ancestors and guides, some of you have already felt this shift earlier in this year. So whenever you're listening to this, this is a timeless reading, but whenever you're listening to this, it's basically saying that the old ancestors and angels had exchanged hands with your new guides and angels. And the familiar ones are always there. They're just not as active as your new guides, angels, and ancestors. So despite this, you will always call upon anyone for assistance. If you want to call upon a specific archangel, a specific ancestors, they're there for you. But the two white herons for me were a sign given to us to say that the changes that you cannot see in the 3D doesn't mean there's stagnation. It's the opposite of what's happening. And the thing we couldn't see in the physical was your guides and ancestors and spirit team are aligning with your divine masculines, spirit team, ancestors, and guides. And that is the luck. That is the tranquility. That is the peace and serenity that is happening in the astral realm. So I found that message so profound that I genuinely needed to share how big things have been shifting in the astral realm, that we may not know what is happening, we may not understand or see what is happening, but the biggest thing here is to understand that you are now expanding your team in the astral, and the only way you can expand the team in the astral is it needed to be behind closed doors. That you may be feeling and experiencing these purges, but you weren't always meant to know what was happening. But this is a divine time, whenever you're seeing this message, that the energies have shifted. So the first card for the energetics we've got is the King of Swords. I personally feel that the spirit team is saying the King of Swords is coming out quite a lot in the most recent readings. This isn't about the divine masculines being honest with you, which they will be, but it's more a case of being honest with themselves. And as I finish that heron message, have you noticed how my throat is already cleared? I didn't even need water. Like, spirit is such a profound channel. I am so blessed and honored to be here for you guys who are listening. But basically it's saying that there is clarity, there is new forms of communication coming in between the astral realms, between your higher self, between their higher self, between your angels, ancestors, and guides of one another. And this is helping trickle down into the 3D for the divine masculine. So they may be in hermit hibernation mode. As I said in a previous message, I wouldn't call them distinct, different separations. I would still call them, you're in separation, but you're in communication. You're in separation, but you're kind of meeting each other. So it's almost like saying, during this separation, this divine masculine had needed to go inwards. to understand how they felt about you. Because they were ignoring the signs from the universe. They were ignoring what they truly felt. And they wanted to run away and get distracted. And some of them were going back to their old patterns. But that's where the Tower moments were coming in for the Divine Masculine, is to say, your old patterns will keep giving you the same results. What are you choosing? What are you choosing instead? So some of the Divine Masculines had purposely chose third parties, had purposely chose that player lifestyle, because in their past it got them to where they wanted. But they didn't have to have that emotional vulnerability, the openness, the exposure that they needed. They could hide in their own cave, they could do whatever they wanted, and they were blocking themselves off from the levels of abundance within themselves, but also within this connection. So for some of the Divine Masculines, they were going through that internal struggle, that they were trying to focus on building a foundation. Building a house on shaky foundation is what I'm getting. So rather than it being a solid foundation of concrete, of slabs, of concrete, of steel, they ended up building on mud. So the Divine Masculines have been given assistance by their higher selves within the astral realm. For some of them, not everyone, it will be a mother figure. For others, it will be a grandma or an aunt that has been helping them through this process to say, you need to choose again because the old ways weren't working. And then we've got the Ace of Pentacles, the Star card, the Ace of Swords, the Eight of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. So I find this really remarkable because, as I said, as they were building foundations on mud and sludge and slime, they weren't getting anywhere. They weren't climbing higher. And Divine had purposely kept them in a stuck energy because they weren't able to get the messages that were coming through for them. The Ace of Pentacles, the Star, and the Ace of Swords is about a new beginning. It is about a wish fulfillment that at some point the Divine Masculines had put out into the world. With this level of clairvoyance, with this level of intuitive hits, you Divine Feminine who are listening had probably attributed their levels of ascension because you two were together, because you two have been in contact. And this is why they run away. This is why they escape, because they can't handle the thoughts and the emotions and the feelings that you're bringing up for them. That they end up sabotaging the connection. They end up blocking you on social media or not communicating with you, or reading a message and then not replying. Like, a lot of Divine Masculines have felt that inner turmoil because they weren't able to process what was happening. And this is such a crazy story because we've got the Three of Pentacles now, which is about setting a new foundation, starting again, but starting with a better base, better grounding, better structures, better concrete slabs. And what I find funny here is we've got the Knight of Pentacles, the Death card, the Four of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords. And again, what's happening is normally the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving, legitimate, loyal knight. But what I'm seeing here is the Knight of Pentacles. This is the After Tarot deck. So the Knight of Pentacles is holding one pentacle. The Death card is now, I believe, the same knight, but an old version of them. that old version of them is cutting away the sabotaging and the holding on of the old ways. That's what's bringing in the Page of Swords, which is this apprentice, truthful page. And funnily enough, on the bottom of the previous deck I saw the Page of Swords. And we've also got the Queen of Swords. We've got the Page of Swords, and the Queen of Swords in the other decks. So I saw the Page of Swords and I was like, this is coming up a lot lately. This is coming up a lot. And there is no coincidences. So the fact that we've got the Knight of Pentacles, who were in their player energy, who thought they could have it better with somebody else, that they thought that they could skip the intimacy because they didn't want to get hurt. They didn't want to get blocked. They didn't want to get stuck. They didn't want to get hurt. So they caused their own death and destruction. They caused their own hurt. They caused their own pain. And for a lot of divine masculines, I'm getting that they are going through these huge purges and they need to be alone. They need to be in solitude in order to process this. With this death and rebirth, which we also had in yesterday's reading, in last week's reading. Yeah, it was last week's reading, so it would have been the last reading. We've had a lot of death and rebirth. With this knight who's gone through this death and rebirth process, they are seeing now the error of their ways, the error of their old ways, their old habits, their old actions wasn't serving them and isn't going to serve them in the future. So, when you make a decision, when you make an intention, and when you make an action, you're predicting the future. You're creating the future. But instead of doing the same things again, the divine masculines are looking back on themselves and saying, look, you idiot, stop running away from this amazing, incredible person. You know there's a connection here. You know there is love here. And you know that this person is loyal, honest, and will stand by you through all the crap in life, but also all the beautiful things that life has to offer. So you need to start again. You need to start as a page, being honest with yourself. And it goes back to that overall energy of the King of Swords. So I feel like we're seeing a bit of history right now. Is we started with the King of Swords. Then we went into all of this process of not understanding and sabotaging and hurting and being in pain, of isolating, of blocking, of being in separation, to now come to the point in the recent past, for a lot of divine masculines, they're done with their old habits, their old lifestyles, and they're willing to change and birth this new version of themselves. So they are in the transition between going from the page to the king. And because we have two pages here, it can be about nervous energy, being all talk and no action. So for a lot of divine masculines, if you have been texting your divine feminines and being flirtatious and insinuating certain things but not following through, well, your divine feminines are like, well, it's just talk. Like nothing's happening in the physical sense. Like they say they want to see me, they say they're flirty, they say they like me, but then nothing actually comes through. Be patient with them, because this is their process of understanding. And so on the flip side, you've also got the Page of Swords, which is about reasoning, being a messenger to the divine masculines. And this is where I'm seeing the Heron come into alignment, because the divine masculines are getting these messages through the astral realm, but they weren't able to truly trust and have faith in this direction, because a lot of them felt there was a word that came up that a lot of them felt an imposter, a type, that they thought, well, wait a second, how am I hearing all of this? This can't be true. How am I understanding this? This doesn't make sense. So they dismiss it. So every time a message comes up, they dismiss it. And now they're realizing, just like I did when I was opening all those doors, that after one or two doors, you realize they're sending the same message. So the divine masculines are opening their awareness to these signs and symbols. This is for those of you, those divine masculines who aren't really stepping into their ascension, or took a very long time to step into this ascension. All the divine masculines will eventually step into their ascension, but this isn't for those who are already spiritual and stepping into themselves. This is for those who are just being stubborn, who are, you know, in that player energy. So once they've realized, and I'm seeing that this is in the recent past, once they've realized the error of their ways, the fact that the old ways won't give them the new things that they want, but they'll give them the old things, the divine masculines are being quite harsh of themselves, and they're trying to learn new things. They're trying to be curious in the right direction. So how can they move forward, learn, expand their consciousness, and open up opportunities in this lifetime? So after all of those general messages and the channeled messages, let's get into how the divine masculine feels regarding the divine feminine. So, I just toppled the cards in the right direction. So I was like, well, I don't want to see the cards, Spirit. But basically that was the second time the 8 of Wands was on the table. So I feel like it was a genuine message that I needed to share, that there is messages and communications coming through. So how does the divine masculine feel about the divine feminine? Well, we've got the Hierophant, we've got the Temperance, we've got the King of Cups, and earlier we had the Queen of Cups, didn't we? And the 7 of Pentacles again. These cards just keep coming up with the same message. It's saying that in order for you to move forward, divine masculines, towards your happiness, towards your abundance, you're going to have to ascend a lot higher, because your divine feminine is being protected from you. The protection is required. In order for you to get through a new beginning, there needs to be balance between you and your inner divine feminine and masculine. If you continue to hide behind your emotions and behind your feelings and not be honest with how you feel, the same cycles will repeat. This is a big, big message for the divine masculines. You have the 10 of Cups here, the 4 of Wands here. But in order for you to get to this stage, you need to sow new seeds. This is what the divine feminine has been doing for so long. This has been happening in the past few weeks, but the divine masculines, the 7 of Pentacles was usually a divine feminine's energy. But now, because the divine feminines have been doing so much work, the divine masculines are understanding that there is going to be a continuous block. 10 of Swords, yeah, there's going to be a block, unless they can be honest with themselves in regards to this new beginning. So how they feel about you is they feel too much. They feel too much that they don't want to be in their feelings. But that's what divine is basically saying to them. Stop hiding away from your feelings, because they are the key to the doors that you need to unlock. And that's where there was a premonition between the divine feminines having the keys to their doors and understanding that they weren't always meant to know what was happening. So behind the scenes, there is love, there is union, there is a coming together. But in the physical plane, the divine masculines have still a lot of work to do. How does the divine masculine feel in his headspace? Wow, the 3 of Swords. Yeah, there is conflict, there is turmoil, there is heartache. They are thinking about you, divine feminine, in the Queen of Pentacles energy. But they're going through this tower moment. Yeah, I said this. You know, they've got the Three of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles in the middle, and the Tower. This is the opportunity for the Divine Masculines to choose again. Not to choose their partner, because you are already it, Divine Feminines. It's already you. What I'm seeing is the Divine Masculines have been asked to ease that pain, ease that heartache. When they're going inwards, yeah, we've got the Hermit card, just as I said earlier. When they're thinking about you, they're scaring themselves. They're just like, but what if it'll end up this way? What if it'll end up that way? Because they're in their ego. The ego wants them to be safe. You know, they don't want to be in fear. They don't want to be in anger. They don't want to be in heartache. But what I'm seeing is the divine has given them a choice. And they keep giving them choices. But because the Divine Masculine aren't making those action steps in the 3D, the divine is holding both of the connections, both of the counterparts back, because the Divine Feminines are doing good. Like, the Divine Feminines are pushing forwards. Even though they are getting sleepless nights, they're mirroring their Divine Masculines. The Divine Masculines are genuinely feeling this hurt and pain. But they do want to come in with an offer. What is in their heart space? The Empress. Oh my gosh, honestly. The Empress and Strength. We had this before. They see you as a strong person. And they know they are getting their karmic justice. Because they want to move forward with you. They want to move forward in this connection. And they want to walk away from anything that doesn't serve them. They want to be in this fiery, passionate connection with you. That they haven't had that with anybody else. Wow. King of Wands and Queen of Wands. And earlier, you know, we had the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. Like, this is divine coupling happening. This is Spirit saying, look, you learn your lessons, you'll get your reward. You learn your lessons, you will get your reward. Don't be afraid of learning. And that's why the Page of Swords keeps coming out. It's asking the Divine Masculines to learn more. To learn more so they can get their wish fulfillment, 9 of Cups. That they can get their success and happiness, 6 of Wands. So where is Divine Masculine in the separation at the moment? Where is Divine Masculine in the separation? They're in waiting mode. Oh my gosh. 2 of Wands, 2 of Cups. 6 of Swords. 6 of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, so duplicate numbers. Whatever you're going through, Divine Feminines, you're heavily mirroring your Divine Masculines. Or whatever your Divine Masculines are going through, they're heavily mirroring what you're going through. So if they're having sleepless nights, you're having sleepless nights. If they're thinking about this connection, you're thinking about the connection. This is big. This is moving forward. But actually, let's have a little bit of a gander of what the 2 of Wands actually says. It's planning the future. Okay, making progress. Activation, possibilities, choice between the comfort zone and the new adventures. This is the Divine Masculines being asked to say, do you go to the same door over and over again and go through the same maze, have the same results? And now it's time to choose between the one that is cozily rooted in the place you already know, or the one that leans into exciting new possibilities. This is it. This is what the message was this whole time. The reason for separation is for the Divine Masculine to take a deep breath, to change. Yeah, it could be scary, but take one step. Learn that one thing. Call your your divine feminines, masculines. Make a decision. Instead of dreaming, walk the talk. And this is the progress. This is the way to get into union. This is the way to move forward, to balance and have that equal reciprocity between you and your divine feminines. But you're currently in that hanged man stage. So unless the divine masculines moves out of this, the divine feminines will continue rising, continue elevating, continually focusing on their strengths and their key and their abundance. Because the divine masculines will eventually get there. But this stage of stagnation means in the astral realm, things are working out. They genuinely are. Because I wouldn't have had that channeled message about the heron. And in the physical realm, the divine masculines are coming to the realization that they need to step up. They need to do something different. And there is possibility of complete happiness, complete reciprocity that they've never had in a connection. And the World card, this is about, the Wheel card is changing their fate. How can they change their fate? By changing the decision, the intention, and the action. So, what are the next steps moving forward? Two of Pentacles, yeah. Making a decision towards love. Ace of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles. Oh, Ace of Cups. I said Ace of Pentacles. Leaving the past behind and moving back into that Knight of Pentacles, but with a legitimate offer. Wow, no more holding on to the past and actually holding on to this new lesson, this new love. Wow, 10 of Pentacles here. So once they've made a decision, 2 of Pentacles, they're making a decision towards love, Ace of Cups. They're letting go of all of the pain and the heartache, but they're stepping towards their own abundance. And what are their next steps moving forward? 6 of Cups. Are you kidding me? 6 of Cups. Reunion. Their next steps are reunion. Okay, that was longer than what I expected, but because the channeled message was so long. But 8 of Wands again at the bottom of the deck. Listen, communication is coming in. Things are moving forward towards reunion. This is another big message for the divine masculines to say, let's get moving. Let's get moving. Take the step, divine masculines. Your divine feminines is there waiting with open arms. So much love, so much light. Bye for now.